Why hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my PSN trophy collection update for 2024, right? Here's the overview, sitting at 59 platinums, level 355, they mean nothing to me. And you can see some of the stuff over here in games, we'll get to them ladies and gentlemen. Here's what I've been doing for the past year. And last time we left off at Red Dead Redemption 2, I believe? I didn't get much further. It's so big and it was just such a time sink. After a while I just sort of lost momentum and it's hard to get that back. I didn't get too far into it. What was the last trophy I got? It's hard sticking with it when I know it's like 30-40 hours. Metro, I've covered that, yeah. Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, I'm not sure if I covered this last time, but yes indeed, I have all the trophies for that. Not so much, what I have in Blood and Wine? That's the one with Toussaint, or Toussaint, I don't know what it's pronounced as. I'll be doing a Platinum Journey bonus episode covering these two together. I'm going to call it Blood and Wine because Hearts of Stone, I believe, is not really much. Whereas Blood and Wine is a full-blown expansion. So as for new stuff, Resident Evil 4. I have the Platinum in the main game. Very nice. Ended up being the longest episode of Platinum Journey at 1 hour and 6 minutes. I did not expect that going in. There was just so much that happened and so many playthroughs, things going wrong, you know, stubbornness prevailing, getting kind of good at the game, learning to love it. And you might notice I still have it. I still have the disc version. I'm normally someone who does trade in games, but with RE4, we ain't done. There'll come a time when I'll fancy another hardcore playthrough, but instead of being on the clock and trying to get the S+ ranking, I'm going to go in, take my time, get everything maxed out and just blast away. I want to do one more playthrough. And then over into Separate Ways. Trophies for this are pretty straightforward, just story stuff, and then beat the game on standard, hardcore professional, and professional S+. I liked Separate Ways, but not enough for about 3 playthroughs. I ended up spending 20 something hours on Separate Ways because I made a mistake. I tried to do it, I don't know, I did something wrong. I had to do an additional playthrough and it was just one too many. So by the end I was ready to move on. But definitely play this. Really good. And it's got Ada Wong. It's pretty class. As for God of War Ragnarok, am I reminded? 97%. I had a trophy bug on me. Although many of you did recommend Valhalla, I did it. I got all the trophies and I even recorded what I thought might be a bonus episode for it. But by the end I had 2 hours of footage and I went, that's not really much enough for an episode. The average episode is around 12 to 14 hours, with some of them, like The Witcher 3, being 29. And actually I checked, I'll get to Elden Ring later. I miscalculated. I do not have 26 hours of footage for Elden Ring. I have 30. I'm currently going back through all the footage. So as for Ragnarok, what went wrong? Got everything. I'll find the fecker. Where is it? Where is it? Hang on. There we go. Obtain all relics and sword hilts. There is a mini-boss enemy that after you defeat him, you get a particular upgrade item. That's used to craft, I believe, one of these sword hilts. There's only one of it in the entire game. Mine bugged out and he didn't drop the item. Now, this happens maybe, 15 hours into the game. So I continued, not knowing about it. I'm doing the sensible thing, which is to make manual saves as you go along, and so if you need to go back a few hours, that's fine. But by the end, I need to not go back a few hours, I need to go back about 20. I did not have a save that far back. Which meant I was initially planning on doing a New Game Plus and just get to the area, because I thought, I've got all my weapons and all my equipment, especially the spear you need to do traversal. Yeah, turns out you can't use the spear in traversal until you get it in the story, which is much later in the game, and I said I'm not burning 15 plus hours doing something I've already done. There is a point when it is a good idea to walk away. Spend that time making the episode or recording something else. As far as I'm concerned, I did everything for the platinum. Just because it doesn't say it, I'm counting it. So then going from that over into The Last of Us Part 1. Oh, celebrating 10 years of Platinum journey by doing that. You know, the second episode was The Last of Us on PS3, now doing Part 1 on PS5. Wonderful. I did have to do Left Behind for the Platinum. I'm surprised it's only 5%. I wonder what... Oh, it's, yeah, the Firefly pendant's probably turning off a lot of people off. Notes, artifacts. Yeah, it's collectibles. Yeah, that really turned people off. I still had a problem with the Shiv doors. Some things never change. People did some collecting, but they didn't want to do all the collecting, which I understand. I think it's about 250 collectibles overall. It's a lot. But still one of my favorite games. Still have it right there. I have the remaster and I have the remake. They're never getting sold. They're staying with me to my dying days. Devil May Cry 2. I am now a staunch defender of most certainly the worst in the series, but I still like it. Getting the Platinum actually made it better. You know, there's so many different playthroughs. Each playthrough is, 4 hours, even 3 hours. You know, you kind of look at the trophy list and go, what do I want to do next? Okay, next playthrough I'm going to focus on upgrading this. And then the playthrough after that I'm going to focus on getting these. And then let's up the difficulty as we're going, building and building to Dante Must Die difficulty. It's not a terribly frustrating difficulty. You can get through it. It's good. What did folks have struggle with? I think I saw something up here was only 4%. Finished the game on hard mode, only 4%. Wow, only 3% did Dante. Wow, okay, yeah. That's probably one of the rarest Platinums I have. It's not because it's tough, it's because people just don't care for it. Psychonauts 2. This is something that will not be getting an episode. I wanted to play it just for fun. Big fan of the first game, did consider this for an episode. Decided to play a little bit, see how I'm getting on before committing to it. Unfortunately, I was quite disappointed. I found that the game was heavily weighted between gameplay and cutscenes. Now it's a comedy game, it's funny, the cutscenes would drag on and the ratio was way off. I thought I was going insane, so I went back and did play a bit of Psychonauts. I went, no, it's like you play a bit and then there's like funny moments and funny cutscenes, they're short, they're snappy and it's good fun. But you're playing for at least 80% of the time, if not 90%. Whereas this, it felt, I'm not even kidding, like 50-50 between watching a cutscene and playing the game. And when it's a comedy, it's just like, come on, like you're just killing the jokes. Terribly disappointing, unfortunately. Oh well, I found it a real pain to actually finish it. It did get better, I think, towards the very end. Some of the levels are nice, but in general, disappointing for me personally. Also disappointing, Oxenfree II. I don't know what is about this studio and the way they write adults. Now they just can't do it. In Oxenfree, you play a bunch of 17-year-olds who are mature, funny, confident, and when they went off to write After Party and the college-age students are just so immature, and then in this you've got like folks in their mid-20s. The main character is fine, but then you're with this guy and he's just so... How are you this nervous talking? He's boring. He's just tremendously boring and dull. It's like, grow up, you're not 14. Well, the first game has got an ensemble, and you kind of rotate who you're with for a while, and then you're with this person for a while, then this person. Whereas I'm stuck with that guy for most of the game. The first opportunity I got to ditch him, I took it. And at the very end of the game, they give you stats based on your decisions, like how many people did this, how many people did this. I'm one of only 2% of people who was so fed up with the guy that they tried to ditch him and stuck with it. Towards the end of the game, I won't go into spoiler territory, you get on a boat and you can tell him not to come with you. He will insist and you can say no, no, no. Then I had a different companion for the last bit of the game and it was way better. I was like, oh my goodness. Go back and play the first one and every character, yeah, they can be a bit nerdy, but they're like funny, or they can be a bit standoffish but confident. Just everyone has their own personality and everyone feels like a real person, whereas Oxenfree 2, my companion for the game, felt like this isn't a real person. This unsure of yourself. At one point, like kids from the island were making fun of him and gave him a derogatory nickname that a teenager would give somebody else, and the guy was still hung up on it. It's like, get over yourself. So, loved Oxenfree, didn't like After Party, didn't like Oxenfree 2. This indie team went from like, hell yeah, my new favorite folks, to like, oh come on, you're killing me. Just you know, write adults like adults. All of them, not just one of them. Elden Ring. Ha 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 ha. Look at this. Got them all, folks. Got them all. Very high platinum percentage. People who play Elden Ring really love Elden Ring. And actually what I can do while I'm here, if I can go into profile, we can check out the hours played as well. So if I can go back here and I can show you, yeah, Red Dead only got to 7, Resident Evil 4, 93. God of War Ragnarok, I got up to 60 hours played. Don't know why that's there. Last was part 1, 30 hours played. Psychonauts 2, 13 hours, which is too long. This is another problem. The first game is about 7 hours, 8 at the most. It's too long. Make it. Oh my god, I go back to Psychonauts 2. So many cutscenes. Like, this game took way longer to develop than it should have. This should have been like an 8 or 9 hour game. Direct. Eliminate half the cutscenes that you made, and we're better off. The HD collection, so I don't know. Oxenfree II, yeah, it was 5 hours to get through the whole thing. Played only 21 days ago. Yeah, and then I went back to the first game and went, yeah, this is way better. Dredge, hours played? What? There we go. Yeah, this order is a bit mixed up. I'll go to Elden Ring and I'll come back to Dredge and Death Stranding. 97 hours. 90 hours getting the platinum and a little bit of time running around just fooling around with stuff. What a game, what a game, what a game. Just magnificent. However, I still put it as like Sekiro number 1, Bloodborne number 2, Elden Ring number 3. I was thinking Bloodborne has the best setting, Sekiro has the best combat, Elden Ring has the best exploration and discovery. That has made me soften on Demon Souls and Dark Souls. There might be a Demon Souls episode in the future, we'll see, we'll see. Dredge. This is wonderful. Hooked in it. I would say the missions get a bit repetitive towards the end. It's very much like just go find 3 fish and bring them to me. But great worlds, kind of intriguing storyline in the background, just calming, just, you know, sailing the seas, finding fish, upgrading my little tugboat. Yeah, I think I finished the whole thing in over the course of 4 days. Yeah, 11 hours played. Yeah. If you got a weekend ahead of you, Dredge. Especially because it's many of us, it's winter. You know, that's a nice sunny game. Death Stranding. The reason for the facial hair. I'm 23 hours into it in just 1 week. While also going back through and logging all the footage for Elden Ring, while also recording videos like this. A lot of Death Stranding this past week. I'll be playing it again straight after I finish recording here. See, I did all the episodes, there's loads to do. I'm unlocking stuff without even looking at it. The way I learned that there's no missable trophies, so just doing whatever I want, really. It's wonderful, and for many of you may think of Death Stranding as just the boring walking game. It's so much more. It's so much more. There is walking, which actually feels quite good, but you also make roads, you have a motorcycle, you have cars. Later on I'm going to get zip lines. There's a very interesting story behind the whole thing. There are moments of just solitude, there are moments of respite. They will encourage you to take Sam, Norman Reedus' character, you know, have a rest in his room. You can listen to his music player, read emails, look through interviews with other people, expanding on the world. You can check on your little baby thing that you hold here. You can give him a shower. You can, you know, I find it very calming and quite nice. And then, when you're out and about in the world, there are enemies to face. You can get pretty cool guns. They're called BTs. It's hard to explain what they are. It brings some horror elements to running around as well. Just overall, I'm completely enamored by it. And I'm actually a little bit surprised that it is a divisive game in terms of opinion. Some folks found it boring, I don't know. I think it's probably Kojima's best game since MGS3. I think this is better than MGS4 and MGS5. So far, I haven't finished it. We'll see how the grind goes, you know, by hour number 60 or 70. I picked up this in the sale, Metro Last Light. I'm on, yeah, less than an hour. I played just a little bit of it last night. Winding down. See how that goes. Yeah, I finished Metro 2033 and thought it was fine. Liked it. This was on sale for €3. Of course I'm going to get it. What I've also gotten, I got Control. That's download pause at the moment. I'll be playing that for fun, not an episode. I don't fancy it for an episode. I just want to kind of dive into that world. However, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. These are the next 3 episodes. Bam, bam, bam. Exciting times ahead. Okay, thank you very much for joining me. See you again next year.